First, welcome to Arts by Celia. If you haven't been here before, I think all of you have been here before, so I'll keep it short. We're a nonprofit visual arts center. We're open Wednesday through Saturday, noon to 5:30. They're free to the public. We offer both children's classes, adult classes, as well as beautiful artist talks that allow you to get to know not only the artwork around you, but the artists themselves a little bit better. Our show this month is Metamorphosis by Raphaele Cohen Bacry. Raphaele comes from Los Angeles and originally from France, and she's here to talk about her beautiful collage work, paint work, and sculptural work. So everyone, a warm welcome to Raphaele.
Hi everybody, thank you very much. Like Tracy was saying, I'm from France. I don't know if you want to know a little bit about me. I went to art school in Paris, Atelier Beaux-Arts. I did also a lot of printmaking work, and I came to the US about 20 years ago, and I really wanted to develop my art career here because I think there is more chance, there are more opportunities, especially in California, for at that time young artists. And this show, it's collages, assemblage, and painting, but it's really about collage. Everything is that process of putting pieces together. And so I don't know if you've all seen the show, but I have those little collages, and all the big or medium-sized painting, they're all inspired by collages that I did before. So when I started collage 5 or 6 years ago, I did it as like to take a break from because I did a lot of painting usually, and I wanted to try something completely, radically different from my practice. My painting was much more expressionist, very gestural, so very physical, and I wanted to, because I was getting to a place where I didn't really know what to do next. I was repeating a little bit, I think. I thought I was repeating myself. So I thought I'm going to do something completely different, just as a little break. And I didn't, I wasn't that interested in collage. I thought it was like a little amateurish at that time. A lot of artists that I like, they did collage, but always as a side thing. It was not major. But I thought, I have all those catalogs and I really loved it. I thought I could take it to a different level. I like the fact that it almost doesn't look like a collage, you're not even sure. So I did a lot of those experiences with collage, and I loved it so much. I thought, okay, but then where does it take me? So I tried to do big collages, which was a lot of fun, but very hard to do because it's in the big circle. And I tried to do it on canvas. That was okay, but that was not what I wanted to do. So then I thought, what if I take my collages and just transfer them, or as a inspiration for my paintings? And I think that was the first one, or the second one I did. And I thought, well, I'm very interested. I like it. It's kind of I call them make-believe collage because you don't really know if it's a collage or a painting. And that took me to a lot of different areas. Most of those collages and painting, they're fragments of auction catalogs. So that could be from a painting of somebody else's painting, that piece. So most of it is already other people's art that I kept, and I transformed them into my own. And I think it's a kind of a nice twist, taking from others. But then it's really mine. And so then I did also, at the same time, I was moving from my previous art studio to my current studio. So I had a lot of boxes just to move in and out. And same thing, that's often how I work. I'm like, what do I have? So I had those catalogs, and then I had those boxes. I was about to throw them away. And I thought, well, maybe I can try to do some sculptures. And then the next step was I started to, you know those corrugated cardboard, how you can strip them. And that changed completely the structure, the possibility of the material, but then you can twist it, which you cannot do when they're, you know, like when they're new. So that took me to do, I have a lot of these, but I wrote I think 3 or 4. And then the next step was to do this and add papier-mâché technique. So this is the white sculpture that you can see, this one, and the tree in the next room. I think there's a little rabbit somewhere. So that was combining those two techniques. So often when I have to write statements for exhibition or grants, I explain that I'm they call us multidisciplinary artist, but for me it's the same. It's like one technique is going to take me to the next one, and I'm going to experiment with it, and then I'm going to transfer what I learned with this technique to my next series. So, and I think Tracy did a really great job at combining all of these different pieces, because they were all made at the same time, almost within 2 or 3 years. And I think they kind of respond to each other. They did a really great job. So that's and also the theme. For most of my work here, not everything, but almost everything was inspired by, if you know, the Metamorphosis by Ovid. He's a Latin poet. And I studied Greek and Latin at school a long, long time ago, and I always remember that story. It's basically all those Greek and Roman myths, right? But Icarus, Daedalus, you know, the Trojan War, Hercules, all those myths, and he talks about it in this little book, and it's not little, it's a long book, and everything is about transformation, how, you know, the Greek gods, how they punish you and turn you into a dog or a crazy thing, or a horse or a bull, just to punish you, or sometimes as a reward or a trick. So, and I like that combination because I also transform, you know, everything, like cardboard is transformed into a sculpture, those catalogs that transform into collage. So, and even the papier-mâché, it's also about, you know, animals and vegetables. So that's the main theme, and then that's what we call it Metamorphosis. So I don't know if you have any questions.
What do you use for adhesive?
For the collages? Yeah, that's a good question, because that was my problem initially, and that's why I didn't go to collage earlier, because usually you have to use white glue, and it's not easy. It makes it very, it can walk home. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try the glue stick. And a friend of mine is a kind of a big artist in LA, so you can't do that. It's not going to work. It's going to dry out. And I have collages 5 years ago that I did 5 years ago. They're still good, and the glue stick is really great because it's very dry, so you don't have that humidity. And that's what I use now. And it's the best for me. It's the best. Sure.
You refer to a lot of your work as abstract, or rather as collages, but I think that some of it can be compared to abstract work as well. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah, completely. Yes, I'm always at the fence, between abstract and even my abstract work is narrative, so it tells a story. You can see a lot of it. You can project everything you want on it. And this is what I like. I don't really like to tell people what to see, so definitely very abstract too.
I was just kind of noticing your larger work right there behind you. I noticed that the white painting is kind of free-flowing. It looks like a drip process. Did you mask off around that to contain it?
Yeah, because that's exactly what it is. This is in the original collage. This is a piece that was probably like an image of an artwork in an auction magazine, and I draped some paint, and then I cut it out. So then when I wanted to do the painting, I had to do masking tape. Yeah, that's
Great.
very good.
So
in what I'm interested in, all those pictures of artwork, they come in small magazines, so I can't really.
I really like the red that you have in that piece right there. It's kind of almost luminous.
Yeah.
It really kind of adds to the work as a whole.
Yeah. Very true.
How do you choose your forms? I see there's a lot of emphasis on texture and color, but underneath all of that, you're choosing shapes.
Yes.
So what's your thought process in choosing the different shapes that you're using to create all of these pieces?
That's really a good question. I think I cut out a shape that I like, and it also depends on what I want to select from the image I have. And then I play around with them because that's why I like the process. It took me very far from where I was before, like I was telling you, the gestural painting. It's very instinctive and it's a lot of fun. But here you really have to plan. The good thing is that you can try different things. And so sometimes the shape is not completely what I want, so I cut it again. So I don't know what it's going to be when I start. I have no idea, which is what I like to do.
Do you have a plan?
A plan?
When you start, you select the colors and
No,
in your mind decide
yes.
what it's going to be?
Yes, it's what do you call it? Flow of consciousness. You know, like one thing gets you to the next one. I'm trying to associate colors that work together. The thing I do that I think is a little different from other artists who use collage, I've seen their process. Most of the time they start on a white board or white, and so it's already a big picture, and I add things on it. This is like this. You see the blue one. The whole thing is this is a whole page, and then I add things. So that guides me a little bit also in my process to know a little bit where I'm going. It's going to be more an aesthetic way. This one too, it's a big picture.
Any more questions for Raphaele, or comments, or any statements about the work?
How long have you been involved in art, I would say?
I was, like a lot of people, I was always doing it, but I went to college to do something completely different. So, like, feeling professional, even though it was not the way I was making a living, but really feeling involved, I would say 25 years. Yeah. But doing other things at the same time. Yeah, we can do it.
Are you still working in the scientific field, like working with the pharmaceutical stuff? Are you still doing that as well as being an artist?
I went to pharmacy school, and then I went into the integrative medicine. So it's something you never stop because you're learning all the time, and I love that field. But I'm not in the pharmaceutical industry. That part I don't like. Everything homeopathic and everything else.
And on that note, do you feel that there is an overlap between art creation and kind of like that holistic health?
Yeah, actually, it's so interesting because I also started health and wellness coaching training, and so because you can include art therapy, and which I didn't know too much. But this year I got a grant to go and bring art to non-profits, and I had to choose a non-profit in LA, and I chose a ranch where they teach little kids and young adults. So they usually, not all of them, but a lot of them have emotional challenges, and so I don't want to teach them because it's kind of hard to. They don't like anything that looks like a school, right? So it's very small by showing them what I do, and they work with me, and I don't know if it's because they also get a lot from the ranch. It's a working ranch, so they do chores. But I can tell I've seen some amazing results with kids with autism or other problem kids that were very, close to the outside, and they're really opening up. There's one guy, I think he's really autistic, pretty bad. and he makes now this beautiful painting, and he's so calm when he's doing it, he seems so happy. So I'm starting to see what could be done, you know, but not as a teacher, more as a, I don't know how to describe it, but just supporting them. So yeah, definitely there's, you know, I believe everything is connected. So I think if you do art and you love it, it can do only good things to you.
Wonderful, wonderful.